Hello, folks. I greet you. Welcome to another date on the Journalist Hangout Show. Today is a Friday, and this is the last edition for the week. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, today on the program, Attorney General of the Federation, the AGF, warns governors against tampering with local government funds. He says it amounts to misconduct and an impeachable offense. IPOB, if you know now, IPOB, urges Ndigbo to return home for Yuletide, assures them of security during festive season, and later on the show we'll share this with you. Government issues 1.1 trillion naira sukuk bonds for 124 road projects across the 6 geopolitical zones. Well, I'm hanging out with Adekunle Yusuf and gentleman Charles Ideho. Gentlemen, I greet you. Welcome.
Thank you, James.
Just to tell you, team captain Babajide Kolade Otitoju is unavoidably out of town. He should be out. He should be back over the weekend. Okay, then. The team is ready. I hope you are. All right, then, let's go. You know, one enduring requirement for a stable democracy is respect for the rule of law. On July the 11th, 2024, the Supreme Court delivered a landmark judgment affirming financial autonomy for Nigeria's 774 local government areas. But 4 months after the epoch, financial autonomy for council areas in the country is still an issue. And a scandalized Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, senior advocate, would not have any of this. He has warned state governors and local government executives against tampering and mismanaging council funds. To Fagbemi, the apex court judgment, according to the judgment, anyone who tampers with the funds has committed a gross misconduct, which is the ground for the removal of a governor from office. Otherwise, it's a treasonable offense. The coming days, I dare tell you, are very interesting. Yusuf, the coming days are interesting days.
Yes, I think one of the good things that have come out of that judgment by the Supreme Court, all the governors in Nigeria have gone ahead to conduct elections.
Okay.
In some states.
Okay.
For about 14, 15 years.
Have not organized local government elections.
Their local governments have always been administered by an picked caretaker committee against the spirit of, I think, Section 7 of the Constitution that says people who occupy that space should be democratically elected. Like the president of Nigeria, the governors, the senators, and all of that. But, our experience, it didn't turn out as the Constitution envisages. So now, the Supreme Court has come out, to point, the way forward. And all of them have complied. As at the last time I checked, the way and manner they've done it, you may debate that, but at least...
But they have done it.
They have done it. So whether those elections, can pass the test of... those are different issues. But we need to start from somewhere. Whether those elections are good enough or not good enough, we must start from somewhere. And I think
funding local governments directly.
With time, and then I'm coming. Maybe with time, our governors will not have this,
sleepless nights.
No, not sleepless nights. This mindset that since they occupy the state government house, that they are the Lord and everything over their state. That must change. I think we have started that journey now.
Right.
Now, the real issue is the funding.
Money.
The Supreme Court has said the local government should have their money directly from the federation account. And that any governor, because we know our governors. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to do a blanket indictment. Any governor that is not happy with the turn of events, just, be humble enough not to tamper with the law. Because if you find a way around to stay and twist the local government chairman and women, through funding, it's going to be an impeachable offense.
Okay.
That is very, very beautiful. But this is Nigeria. We need to talk about our country because we know it. The problems are not the laws of Nigeria. The problems are the drivers, those who, who run the system. If you know the history of local government, system in Nigeria, they used to collect their money directly from the federation account.
Yeah.
Then, at some point, they found out that it was always crisis and crisis. The local government then was supposed to pay the primary school, teachers, and I think primary health care.
Yeah, primary health care.
So everything at some point became moribund. So that was what led to this idea of joint account. That is to say, perhaps people thought that the layer of government, the tier of government that is supposed to supervise them, that is closest to them are the states. So but the state governors saw an opportunity of free money and modeled up the whole thing. So now that there is, do we have people who can, who are law abiding? Many of the people in public office, are we sure they will still not find a way around this? These are the issues we will be talking about.
Charles, don't you have a feeling, granting what you just said, that we are a long way from home?
Very long. Even the constitutional helping matters. Let me also say that it has gone so bad that even Latif Abomey also said that in some cases, local government councils, when they want to buy stationery, they have to go tell the governor. We want to buy stapler, want to buy staple pins, want to buy reams of paper.
Ink or pen.
They will have to write to the governor. It's gone that bad. Now, what I said there is that it's not the fault of the governor, because there is this clear ambiguity in the constitution of the role of the governors over the states. Now, two aspects of the constitution that are, for me, I'm not a lawyer, but as journalists and we have English as a background, that are in conflict. Number one is the Section 1, Subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. It states here that no individual or group has authority to control any tier of government except as prescribed by law, which is explicit, right? Now, go to Section 7, Subsection 1 of the same Constitution as amended. Now, states that the system of local, listen to the system of local government, system of local government by democratically elected local councils under this Constitution is guaranteed, and accordingly, the government of every state. Now, this is where I have a problem. The government of every state shall ensure their existence under a law which provides for the establishment, structure, composition, finance, and functions of each local government. What does that mean in English language? On the one hand, you say a body is independent, is autonomous. It's autonomous, but it will have to be supervised. Its existence will be guaranteed by a higher body, which will ensure its existence, its functions, its composition, and also we have to elect them into offices, supervise that. So that's why I say it's not the governor's fault. On the other hand, also, okay, we're not touching their finances, but we are supervising them. So supervision can mean anything.
Of course.
You can also supervise their finances because finances is there. Finances is there. You can go and read it. It's section 7, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
And the state houses of assembly also have, up to today, despite the Supreme Court.
Yes, so that's why
you can remove it.
No, that's why you can do
everything.
Now, the Latifa is saying that it's an impeachable, it's treasonable offense. Now, who will initiate the removal of that governor? Is it the state government that the state house of assembly? You can hardly separate one from the other, like the umbilical cord tied to the state. So you see, before it's as if that the Supreme Court judgment is good on its face, but it will be difficult to enforce when you still have the existence of Section 7 and Subsection 1 of the 19th Constitution that we are operating today, a part of their body of laws. So I think what they need to do is to tinker with their Constitution. All these areas of conflict, they have to be expressly, sorted out so that when you say you are autonomous, you are independent, there shouldn't be any other proviso that will say, okay, but there's a limitation to your independence. That's exactly where we are now.
Kule, before we came on air, we discussed this subject matter, and you attempted to tell me that in a federal system, the local government is not a federating unit.
No, it's not.
What the Supreme Court, ruling did was a disservice to federalism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go on, read it very well. You see, there are aberrations in the Constitution of Nigeria. One of them is to say 774 local governments are third tier. No, in the federal system, you have 2 units. Whether you call them states, whether you call them regions, and the central government. We didn't reinvent any way.
Sorry.
We copied this.
I know. Sorry, Charles, you are listening. In America, they are called counties.
Counties. I'm coming. If you go from India to America, to Brazil, to all of them. So I thought the Supreme Court, being a court of policy, the moment the federal government approached the Supreme Court, there will be a good opportunity. Do you know why all of these problems are happening? It is because of free money that is coming from the federal purse. In any federal system, local governments, be it counties or whatever you call them, have, an
appendage
of the state government. Right. Every state government comes up through the House of Assembly with the system it likes, and it forms the local government the way it wants. You get what I'm saying? So because money is coming from the central purse, that is why all these katakata all over the place. And I felt that the judgment of the Supreme Court will straighten this out once and for all. It would have been a perfect thing. Strike them out of the Constitution, then renegotiate the sheriff.
Just like Lagos State government had, Lagos State government that President Tinubu was the governor at that time, they decided to create the SCDS. Okay. Even within SCDS, you also have CDAs and CDCs. It is for administrative convenience. When you have to decentralize, you have a state as big as Lagos, very big. They say, okay, you can't oversee all the affairs. Ikorodu, Badagry, are far flung. What do? You now decentralize. You now have 20 local government, aboriginal local government, and then 37 SCDAs. Within the SCDAs, you now have other you call CDAs. That are composed of the house owners and landlord and all. You also decentralize. Within there, you also say, this CDA, you come together, you have CDC. That's for administrative convenience. It should be under the purview, under the authority of any state to determine how they can decentralize those components.
Yeah. So are we saying that the Attorney General should take a second long, hard look at the issue?
With the uproar this has generated, I think they should just operate this for a few years and see that it will amount to nothing. As I keep saying, that this thing, people are clapping, hey, autonomy. What is the meaning of local government autonomy? When the local governments were having little money from the governors, the level of corruption at any local government is among us.
Yeah.
Now, when they are having more, you get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I want to think that the problem of the local governments, are so complex beyond just ruling that give them money directly.
It's deeper than
you just expand the corruption net that will happen there. I want to think.
So
I want to tell you there is no. I don't think anybody can become chairman of any local government in any state
without the governor.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
without the governor saying so.
No, not say so. For you to emerge from the party,
doing so.
No, before you emerge from the parties, yes. All the parties, the governors are in charge of the parties at the state level. So how do you emerge?
Yusuf, I also mentioned it here. Later, after I mentioned it, when I visited this particular SCDA, I have friends that they were saying, Charlie, why are you exposing? The what happens is that if you go to most of these local government councils, the offices of CX are domiciled.
That's an independent electoral commission.
Yes, that's state independent electoral commissions. In Lagos is last year, Ogunse, they all have all these acronyms. Now, how can you ensure somebody who is elected or a group of people elected, you are saying these people should not have a relationship that will not see the government. First of all, as he said, we influence who comes out, who will bear the party's flag. Then that one, the CX itself, that will conduct the election to have the local government chairman or is domiciled in the same compound.
But some people are now moving, towards creating another something like INEC to conduct elections at the local government, which is further taking power at a time at a time we are discussing decentralization. We are not taking more powers to the federal.
That's what it means.
What does that mean?
Just like you said about corruption in this, I have this lady where we're in university together. She works in one of these local governments. So argument came. I was saying, he said, Charlie, no. He said, she herself, as an employer of local government, said she will never ever advocate the autonomy for local government. He said,
financial autonomy.
Whatever autonomy you have, financial. He said, because once they receive money, the chairman disappears.
There are some local governments in some parts of Nigeria, nothing goes on.
Nothing goes on.
The time you see them is when the allocation is coming, and everybody comes around. They present.
Most of them go and watch.
Live in Abuja.
They go and watch Babajide Arsenal matches in England. A lot.
So I don't know. That's why I said it's so complex and
so for me, bearing it is that this Supreme Court judgment, no matter how good it is, for me, this is me, appears to be standing on its head. If you do not walk out to tinker with those ambiguous areas of the Constitution that are in conflict with that judgment, without that, I don't think a government can say, well, we are only supervising. Maybe we say we should supervise their composition, we should supervise their structure, we should establish them, we should also supervise their finances. What they are doing is also supervising.
But I'm nonplussed here because at the National Assembly, gentlemen, no less than 21 former governors are there. And these are gentlemen and women who are making laws.
And who also benefited from this warp system before they got there. This governor is talking about who are now senators who transition.
All right.
From government.
Gentlemen, we have a caller from Abuja. He wants to... Mahdi, that's his name, Mahdi. Good evening, Mahdi. Welcome. Are you there?
Okay, good evening, sir.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, sir. On this discussion, actually, of this local government autonomy.
Financial autonomy, as it were.
Financial autonomy, actually.
Yeah.
If you remember when they are swearing in Mr. President, financial autonomy, during the swearing of Mr. President, he assured Nigerians that he wants the poor must breathe.
Okay. Did I get that?
So actually, the only way the poor can breathe is through the local government autonomy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And the most important thing is to make sure that that state electoral commission is being cancelled. No matter what, at least one or two or three in the state, at least they can get an opposition candidate to win the local government election.
Okay.
From there, gradually, at least.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mahadi. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, so I don't want to get I don't want to get the impression that we are a long way from home.
We are.
Truly,
we are.
Okay. Especially at that tier of government.
It's quite long.
Okay.
That I'm sorry to say, I don't see anything that has been solved.
All right. As I said, the coming days will be very interesting ones.
Yes. Exactly.
We watch, and of course, our business is to report what happens. Now to our next story. You know, political scientists across the world had always debated the question of power and purpose. In fact, they agree that